So good day everyone. Our lesson for today is all about the geothermal power plant, which is under the geothermal energy. So before we start, let me first introduce to you my group members. Francois M. Campana, Victor T. Lorenzana, Nico M. Parinas, and I, Precious Gem R. Hernandez. So let us now start our today's lesson with its definition. Geothermal power plants are used in order to generate electricity by the use of geothermal energy, the Earth's internal thermal energy. They essentially work the same as a coal, solar thermal, or nuclear power plant, the main difference being the heat source. Working principles. There is a natural source of power found below the surface of the earth that has been around for centuries. Underground, far below us, there are pools of water heated by magma or molten rocks. These pools of water make up our geothermal reservoirs, harnessing the power of the earth's temperature to power, heat or cool our homes and businesses is the essence of geothermal power. So dito, yung working principles ng geothermal power plant is deep within the ground, somewhat 2 to 3 kilometers. Meron dong heated water by magma or molten rocks. The heated water is being harnessed within the geothermal power plant and then powering up the turbines, which are connected to the generator, resulting to generation of electricity. Since the heated water is being harnessed from deep within, yung question dito is, saan lang kaya pwedeng itayo yung geothermal power plant kung ang ginagamit niya energy ay yung may init na tubig na nanggagaling sa ilalim ng lupa? Kahit saan kaya may mainit na tubig? So, sasagutin natin yan mamaya. So, dito makikita natin na mayroong graph. Ito yung pinapakita rito yung ranking of largest geothermal power plants worldwide as of January 2021 in megawatts. So ito yung updated na ranking when it comes to the largest geothermal plants worldwide. So nangunguna pa rin dito yung sa United States, which is the geysers na merong 900 megawatts. Larderelio from Italy, which has 769 megawatts. From Mexico, 720 megawatts. Philippines, dito yung sa Macban, Laguna, 458 megawatts. Iceland, 400 megawatts. Philippines ulit, Malitbog, 377 megawatts. United States, which is the Salton Sea, 340 megawatts. Tiwi, which is also from the Philippines, 289 megawatts. Indonesia, 259 megawatts. And Indonesia, 227 megawatts. So dito rin, pinapakita rin dito yung ranking naman when it comes to countries. Ito yung top 10 geothermal countries in 2021. Installed capacity in megawatts year-end 2021. So ito ay merong total na 15,854 megawatts. So nangunguna pa rin dito yung United States, which has 3,722 3,722 megawatts. Sa Indonesia, 2,276 megawatts. Pumapangatlo tayo, which has 1,918 megawatts. In Turkey, 1,710 megawatts. New Zealand, 1,037 megawatts. In Mexico, 963 megawatts. In Italy, 944 megawatts. In Kenya, 861 megawatts. And yung Iceland, Japan, and other have 754 megawatts, 603 megawatts, and 1,067 respectively. So makikita natin dito yung picture ng Macban Geothermal Power Plant, which can be found in the Philippines. Specifically sa Laguna siya natatagpuan. So makikita natin dito na yung meron ditong usok na ini-emit. Hindi siya pollution na gaya ng mga smoke or air na nanggagaling sa mga ibang factories. Itong ano, ang tawag dito, ito yung excess steam or water vapor emitted by the power plant. So next. Makikita naman natin dito yung the geysers geothermal power plant which can be found in the United States. Ito yung largest geothermal power plant. Ideal location. The most active geothermal resources are usually found along major tectonic plate boundaries where most volcanoes are located. One of the most active geothermal areas in the world is called the Ring of Fire, which encircles the Pacific Ocean. When magma comes near the Earth's surface, it hits groundwater trapped in porous rock or water running along fractured rock surfaces and faults. Hydrothermal features have two common ingredients, water or hydro, and heat thermal. Geologists use various methods to find geothermal reservoirs. Drilling a well and testing the temperature deep underground is the most reliable method for locating a geothermal reservoir. These reservoirs are deep underground and are largely undetectable above ground. Geothermal energy finds its way to the Earth's surface in three ways: volcanoes and fumaroles, holes in the earth where volcanic gases are released, hot springs, geysers. So kanina meron tanong tayo previously na saan lang kaya puwedeng itayo yung geothermal power plant kung ang ginagamit niyang energy is yung mainit na tubig na nanggagaling sa ilalim ng lupa. So yung answer is dito, along major tectonic plate boundaries where most volcanoes are located. Yung lugar ng Yung lugar na wala namang tectonic plates, hindi puwedeng magkaroon ng geothermal power plant kasi walang pagkukunan. Kasi 'di ba nga, yung geothermal pinagkukunan niya yung steam underground o kaya yung hot water deep within. Kaya yung, um, Pilipinas ay isa sa top producers ng geothermal power plant kasi sakop tayo sa Pacific Ring of Fire. Dito sinasabi rin dito 'di ba na one of the most active geothermal areas in the world is called the Ring of Fire or specifically the Pacific Ring of Fire. So yun nga, sinabi nga rito na top producers yung Pilipinas kasi nga located tayo sa Pacific Ring of Fire. So dito naman sa may bandang huli meron din ditong highlighted, part na sinasabi meron ditong, 3 ways para makakuha tayo ng energy using the geothermal power plant. So ito ay nanggagaling sa volcanoes, fumaroles, hot springs, and geysers. So dito, ito yung example ng geysers. And then ito naman sa picture na 'to, ito ay isang example ng hot spring. So yung tawag pala natin sa tubig sa ilalim, ito yung tinatawag na geothermal reservoir. Ito yung nabanggit natin kanina na ginagamit natin para mag-generate ng electricity gamit ang geothermal power plant. Tas kanina pinakita rin yung picture ng geysers. Ito siya, para siyang fountain, 'di ba? Kasi nag-i-emit lang siya ng steam galing sa ilalim. And then bago pala tayo mag-proceed, kapag nakakakita tayo ng ganyang lake or hot spring, ano siya, possible location siya for geothermal power plant. There will be lots of testing to be done by experts to validate the location if if it is fit for a geothermal power plant to be constructed. So yung geothermal power plant has 3 types. Isa na rito yung dry steam power plant. So dry steam plants are the most common types of geothermal power plants, accounting for about half of the installed geothermal plants. They work by piping hot steam from underground reservoirs directly into turbines from geothermal reservoirs, which power the generators to provide electricity. After powering the turbines, the steam condenses into water and is piped back into the earth via the injection well. So, paano nga ba nagwo-work yung dry steam power plant? So, ito yung example ng dry steam power plant. So, sinasabi rin dito na hot steam from underground is piped directly into turbines which powers the generator. Ito rin yung isang diagram kung paano siya nagwo-work. Pero dito natin siya i-explain para mas malinaw at mas malaki. So, nandito sa production well, nandito yung hot steam na kailangan natin para makapag-generate ng electricity. So, yung hot steam, pupunta rito sa may tube. And then, kapag nag-travel na siya sa tube, yung steam, siya yung magpapagana sa turbines. And then, kapag umikot na yung turbines, dito sa generating facility, dito na makakapag-generate ng electricity, which can be passed in the substations, in the electric poles, hanggang sa makarating sa consumers sa atin. So, dito, yung excess steam na makukuha dito, mapupunta rito sa condenser. So, alam naman natin na yung condenser is a process of gas to liquid. So, dito, kapag yung excess steam, pupunta na rito yung cold water. And then, kapag yung condensed water nandito na, babalik siya sa earth via the injection well. So, meron pa ako isang tanong sa inyo na related dito. Ano ang unang dapat meron when it comes to construction of geothermal power plant? So, ang sagot lang dito is kailangan maghukay at magbaon tayo ng pipe na kung saan dadaan yung steam. Kasi napaka-importante ng pipe na to kasi dito dadaan yung steam na gagamitin natin para makapag-generate ng electricity by the use of geothermal power plants.
Good day, this is Campana, and this is a continuation of types of geothermal power plants. So another type of geothermal power plant is flash steam power plant. So flash steam power plant differ from dry steam because they pump hot water rather than steam directly to the surface. These flash steam plants pump hot water at a high pressure from below the earth into a flash tank on the surface. So the flash tank is at much lower temperature, causing the fluid to quickly flash into steam. So the steam produce power. The steam is cooled and condenses into water, where it is pumped back into ground through the injection well. So yung dry steam power plant, kung dun yung nakokolektang underground is steam already, ibig sabihin sobrang init ng nakakolekta dun sa underground. And then pero kapag hindi namang ganun kainit yung nakokolekta underground at hindi kayang mag-evaporate into steam, dito sa flash steam power plant ay ang kolekta nila ay hot water. And then dahil sa pagbabago ng temperature and pressure, yung hot water nagiging steam na siya, And then yung steam na yun yung magpapaikot ng turbine, and then it generates electricity. So yun. So this is the detailed illustration of flash steam power plant. So una, kukolekta ng water underground, hot water, and then pupunta siya sa brine, and then doon dahil sa pagbabago ng temperature and pressure, yung hot water na yun magiging steam na, and then yung steam na yun yung magpapaikot ng turbine, and it generates electricity. And then the purpose of condenser is to convert gas into liquid. Yung nakuwang steam, i-convert niya dun sa condenser para maging liquid. And then yung liquid na yun, pupunta ngayon siya dun sa injection well, and then yun yung magpapump ng water papunta underground. And then yung brine na yun, yung hot water dun sa brine na hindi nag turn into steam, pupunta ngayon dun siya sa injection well para i-pump papunta underground. And that's how the flash steam works. So next, so another type of geothermal power plant is binary cycle power plant. So unlike dry steam and flash steam power plant, etong binary cycle power plant is hindi directly yung nakokolektang steam underground is hindi directly dumidiretso dun sa turbine. Yung binary cycle power plant is dadaan muna siya dun sa heat exchanger chamber. So basahin na muna natin. In this binary cycle plants, the main difference is that the water or steam from below the earth never comes in direct contact with the turbines. So instead, water from geothermal reservoir is pumped through a heat exchanger where it hits a second liquid like isobutane, which boils at a lower temperature than water. So this second liquid is heated into steam, which powers the turbines that drives a generator. The hot water from the earth is recycled into the earth through the injection well. The second liquid is recycled through the turbine and back into a heat exchanger where it in use again. So this is detailed illustration of binary cycle power plant. Yan. So yung nakokolektang steam underground is hindi directly mapupunta dun sa turbine. Dadaan muna siya dun sa heat exchanger para painitin yung another liquid na yun. So yung another liquid na yun yung tube na yan may lamang another liquid o yung tinatawag na isobutane. So yung isobutane na yun mas mababa yung boiling point sa water. Hindi na kailangan ng 100 degrees Celsius para kumulo at maging steam. So kapag nainitan yung liquid na yun, mag-evaporate ngayon siya at magiging steam, at yun yung magpapaikot sa turbine. And then connected to the generator, and then it generates electricity. And then yung purpose naman ng cooling tower is to convert the steam yung steam na yon into liquid na ulit. And then so ayun nga, yung steam galing underground pupunta ngayon sa heat exchanger and babalik ulit underground through the use of injection well. Ayan, babalik siya underground. So that continues the cycle. So that's how the binary cycle power plant works. So meron ditong short video. short video presentation of actual view of how geothermal power plant works.
Steady supply of electrical power with minimal environmental impact. Here is the basic process. Water in underground reservoirs is heated to high temperatures by magma. Production wells drilled up to 10,000 feet below the Earth's surface tap into this hot fluid. Under its own pressure, the fluid flows through these wells toward the surface. As it travels, the pressure lessens, causing a small amount to become steam. Together, the hot fluid and steam move through a surface pipeline to a wellhead separator, where the pressure is reduced. Here, most of the fluid vaporizes and flashes into high-pressure steam. Any fluid not flashed into steam moves to a standard pressure crystallizer to produce standard pressure steam. Remaining fluid is then flashed at a lower pressure to create low-pressure steam. All steam created in the plant is sent to a turbine on site. The force of the steam spins the turbine's blades, which turns a shaft connected to an electrical generator. An electrical charge is created and directed to a transformer, where the voltage is increased and sent down power lines.
So that's how actually the geothermal power plant works. So construction cost. So yung construction cost niya is sobrang mahal niya. Kasi huhukay pa ng sobrang lalim. So yung sukat niya is 2 to 3 kilometers, and yung material na ginamit is depende pa. So yung material, usually yung ginagamit na material is made of carbon steel. So the initial cost of geothermal power plant construction is high, but operational costs soon become relatively low. This means that even though geothermal energy becomes financially worthwhile in the end, the cost of power plant construction may put geothermal energy out of the question. So yun nga. So ang pagpapatayo nga nito sobrang mahal, pero pagka nag-generate na to ng electricity, sobrang mura na niya. Kasi yung ginamit na source ng energy is renewable. Yun nga. So advantage, some advantages of geothermal power include its sustainability and consistency. Geothermal energy is renewable, so it's both more environmentally friendly and less susceptible to natural resource wars than fossil fuels are. Geothermal can consistently produce energy output 24/7 regardless of weather conditions or seasonal changes. So advantage nga nito compared sa other renewable resources, yung weather condition or seasonal change is walang pinipili at 24/7 na kayang mag-produce ng electricity. Hindi katulad sa wind turbine, hindi siya gumagana kapag walang hangin. Yun. Disadvantages. The disadvantage of geothermal power are the geographic limitations and high costs associated with power plant construction. These need to be built over regions with underground reservoir of hot steam or water, though it's technically possible to engineer and enhance geothermal system. Ayun, yun nga. So disadvantage ito kung saan lang merong limited lang yung kanyang pwedeng pagtayuan. Hindi mo siya pwedeng itayo kahit saan. So pag ang pagtatayuan, ang pwede lang niyang pagtayuan yung malapit sa bulkan, merong geyser or merong sa spring. And then kapag nakapagpatayo na ng geothermal power plant doon, hindi ka na pwedeng magtayo. Then meron yung tinatawag na EGS or Enhanced Geothermal System, na kung saan uh, in unsuitable environments, it's highly empirical to do so. EGS requires intensive space planning, construction, government oversight, and capital, and can only be accomplished by federal or state governments and corporations. Ang alternative uh, na na pwedeng paggawin na geothermal power plants ay yung tinatawag na enhanced geothermal system. Pwede na kung saan pwede mo siyang itayo kahit saan. Pero sobrang mahal nito. And thank you for listening. That's all. And God bless.
So now we are going to report the hydroelectric power plant or hydropower. So our group members are Francois M. Campana, Jesus Jem R. Hernandez, Victor T. Lorenzana, and Miko M. Parinas. So working principle. So a hydropower plant captures the energy of falling water to generate electricity. A turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into mechanical energy. Then a generator converts the mechanical energy from turbine into electrical energy. So these are the largest hydroelectric power plant. First one is the Three Gorge Dam in China called Yangtze, which is installed capacity of 22,500 megawatts in the year of completion of 2008-2012. The next one is the Itaipu Dam, country from Paraguay, Brazil, in the river of Parana, and its installed capacity is 14,000 megawatts, and the year of completion is in 1984, 1991, and 2003. The next one is called the Siludu, in the country of China, and its river in Jinsha, which installed capacity of 13,860 megawatts in the year of completion of 2014. The next one is the Belo Monte in Brazil, in the river of Xingu, with the installed capacity of 11,233 megawatts, and its year of completion is in 2016 to 2019. And the next one is called Guri, in the country of Venezuela, and in the river of Caroni, and its installed capacity of 10,235 megawatts, and its year of completion is in 1978 and 1986. So there are more hydroelectric power plant. The next one is the Tucuru in Brazil, in the river of Tocantins, which is installed capacity of 8,370 megawatts, and its year of completion in 1984 and 2007. The next one is the Grand Coulee, in the country of United States, in the river of Columbia. Each installed capacity of 6,809 megawatts, and its year of completion is in 1942, 1950, and 1973, 1975, and 1980, 1983, and 1984, and 1991. The next one is called the Xiangjaba in China, in the river of Jinsha, which installed capacity of 6,448 megawatts in the year of completion in 2014. The next one is called the Longtan Dam in China, in the river of Hongshui, and its installed capacity of 6,426 megawatts in the year of completion on 2007 and 2009. The last one is called Sayano Susen Kasha in the country of Russia and in river in Yenisei. And its installed capacity of 6,400 megawatts and its year of completion is 1985 and 1989, 2010 to 2014. So the largest hydropower in the Philippines. So there is a Magat Dam. The Magat Dam is the hydroelectric power plant is the one of the largest hydro facilities in Luzon with a maximum output of 380 megawatts. The construction of the dam started in 1975 and was completed in 1982. So the Magat Dam is one of the largest dam in the Philippines. And the Magat Dam is a multi-purpose dam which is used primarily for mitigate about 85,000 hectares of agricultural lands and power generation through the Magat hydroelectric power plant. The dam is located within the boundaries of Naminglan, Alfonso, Lista, Ifugao, and Ramon Isabela. So hydroelectric power plant. So how it operates. So first is the dam. The dam is the most hydropower plants rely on a dam that holds back water, creating a large reservoir, and often this reservoir is used as a recreational lake, such as a Lake Roosevelt at the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington State. So the term intake. So intake it means the gates on the dam open and gravity pulls the water through the penstock, a pipeline that leads to the turbine, and the water build up pressure as it flows through this pipe. So what is the turbine? So the turbine, the water strikes and turns the large blade of turbine, which is attached to a generator above it by a way of shaft generators. So as the turbine blades turn, so do a series of magnets inside the generator. Giant magnets rotate past copper oils, producing alternating current or AC by moving electrons. The next one is called the transformer. So the transformer inside the powerhouse takes the AC and convert it to the higher voltage current. The power line, out of every power plant comes four wires. So the three phase of power being produced simultaneously plus a neutral or a ground common to all three. The last one is called the outflow. So used water is carried through the pipelines called the tail race and re-enters the river downstream. So, so hydropower, how it operates. So how it operates. So kagaya nga sa sinabi kanina, the first one is the term of intake. So dito makikita natin na ang control gate ang nagko-control sa pagpasok ng tubig. Pag So ang intake, ang sinabi sa description kanina ay siya ang kumukuha ng tubig na papunta sa penstock at papunta naman to sa turbine. So yung water ay nagke-create ngayon ng pressure para sa turbine upang ang turbine ay umikot. So pag umikot na ang turbine, so the inside the powerhouse is the generator and transformer. So the way na to, ang transformer naman ang magko-convert ng AC into the high voltage. At ito naman ang itatransfer through the transmission line. So lahat ng used water ay magpo-flow sa drop tube at magiging outflow. So kagaya sa description kanina, ang outflow ay used water is carried through the pipelines called tail race and re-enters the river downstream.
Good day, everyone. I'm Victor T. Lorenzana, and I'm here to continue the discussion about hydroelectric power plant construction. The construction of this dam is difficult and labor intensive. Before construction begins, water is diverted or prevented from moving through the construction site. After water is diverted, the foundation area is cleaned, excavated, and rock or sediments that will act as the foundation are repaired and deemed solid. This is done to ensure the rock or sediments won't shift or fail as a result of the load of the dam and reservoir. Support known as rock balls may be used to strengthen the foundation above the dam. Rock bolts and netting may be used to prevent rocks from falling on the dam. Forms are built along the edges of the dam and rebar is placed inside and concrete is pumped in. This is done in section and the concrete is poured bit by bit in a block formation. Once enough of the dam is built, the reservoir is allowed to fill in a highly controlled manner. The dams monitored during this process. Other structures that will make the dam operational are then added. Hydroelectric power dam design. The types of concrete dam. Arc. And ang pangalawa is buttress and one is gravity. Ito yung design ng hydropower dam. Ayan, kita natin kung paano siya dinesign. Hydroelectric power plant. The amount of electricity a hydropower plant produces depends on two factors. How the water falls. The farther the water falls, the more power it has. Generally, the distance that the water falls depends on the size of the dam. The higher the dam, the farther the water falls and the more power it has. Scientists would say that power of falling water is directly proportional to the distance it falls. In other words, water falling twice as far as has twice as much energy. The second factor is the amount of water falling. More water falling through the turbine will produce more power. The amount of water available depends on the amount of water flowing down the river. Bigger rivers have more flowing water and can produce more energy. Power is also directly proportional to river flow. A river with twice amount of flowing water as another river can produce twice as much energy. The tallest dam. Currently, the tallest dam in the world is Nurek Dam on the Varkish River in Tajikistan. It is 984 feet or 300 meters tall. However, Hoover Dam is 764 feet or 2,213 meters tall. And today, Hoover Dam is still ranked in the top 20 of the tallest dam in the world, but only in the concrete, gravity, and arc categories. Dam failures. Bangyao Dam, Hainan, China. 1975 Bangyan Dam failure. 26,000 dead from flooding and 145,000 dead from subsequent famine and epidemics. 11 million homeless. Cause loss of generation. Dam failed by overtopping in a 1 in 2,000 year flood. It was happened
in 1975. Machu Dam in Machu, India. The Machu Dam collapsed, leading to the deluge of the city of Morbi and so the surrounding rural areas. 1,825,000 people were killed. It was happened in 1979. Oroville Dam, California, United States. Damage spillway caused evacuation of 180,000. It was happened on in 2007. Thank you for listening.